If you're looking for healing, motivation, and encouragement, check out Queen's Opinion Podcast, where lifetime events can change and inspire your life. Peace. Welcome back to another episode of Queen's Opinion Podcast. I am your host, Queen Kira, and today is going to be really, really good. I have a special guest by the name of Sam. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Welcome in.
Nice to see you.
Well, we'll just get into it. How you been?
I'm good. Just, getting over the birthday stuff.
Okay.
Enjoying being older.
Okay. So getting into that, today we're gonna have like maybe a touchy subject, but you just stop me if need be.
Will do.
And from there we'll just get to talking.
Okay.
So anybody that happens to come on my show, hopefully my whole goal is to inspire, motivate, encourage, keep you uplifted, and just have you just speaking your truth of being who you are and not being ashamed about it in the process of doing that. So with you, I know you, but the world doesn't. So we'll just touch on, you just turned what, 35? Okay. Congratulations to that.
Thank you.
Growing up, we tend to have had different things that may have transpired, and we tend to hold things back. I've had some things that I've had exposed. I had to expose myself in order to heal, be on the journey that I'm currently on now in healing, growing, trying to just be a better person and not giving a damn, really.
Definitely working on it.
And loving on myself regardless of the fact. So I'm saying all that to say, what may have transpired with you growing up and that basically has gotten you where you are now currently since you just turned 35?
Yeah. Quite a few things.
Okay.
I would say I think how I was raised, what I went through as a child, just from beginning, I was not conceived in the best terms, rather.
Okay.
And so, growing up, that was kind of hard, being in transition between homes, things like that.
Okay.
With my mom, I always was with my mom.
Okay.
My mom has always been. That's just who it is. It's always me.
Okay.
And my mama. But I was a difficult child. I was a very difficult child. So sometimes I would go stay with my cousins, or sometimes I would go stay with my godmom for a couple of months, or I would stay with my great aunt for a little while. Like, I was with my great aunt one time for a while, like I would say a few years. And then my brother and my sister were with their dad.
Okay.
So we didn't see each other often. I was raised like a single child.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I seen them, we would do group things.
Yeah.
But most of the time it was just me and my mama.
So what may have caused, like, what was some of the things, like you said, you were basically rebellious? What do you feel like
I would
caused
call
that?
it rebellious,
Okay.
though, because even at a young age, I would do certain things, and even my mom would tell me this. Like, she would have this conversation. I would do certain things that just wasn't normal.
Like what, if you don't mind sharing? Give an example.
When I was really young, I used to repeatedly burn my hand on the iron. My mom would like hide it, and I don't know what it was about the sensation of burning myself, but I would do it over and over and over and over. And it didn't matter. Like, my mom feared that I would go to school or somebody would see me with these blisters on my hand and think she was doing something, but I would literally find the iron and touch it. Like,
when did you start that? And what made you?
I don't remember. I genuinely don't remember doing it. I remember, I think the last thing I remember is doing it the last time.
Okay.
And the reason that I remember that is because I have a scar on my leg of I touched myself with an iron, and it didn't give me the same sensation that it gave me in the hand, and I never did it again.
Okay.
And
well,
so,
what were you getting out of your hand?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just being, I don't know.
Okay.
It was just one of my weird quirks. Like,
okay.
And so that was, my mom was like, that was the beginning of me noticing you were different. Like,
okay.
You were different than my other children. I had to handle you differently. I had to raise you differently because mentally how I looked at things was totally different. Of course, my sister and my brother, they were more how do I say it nicely? They were more yes men. They
Okay.
I was going to ask the question. I was going to do it, whether I was going to be a consequence to it or not. I would, fuck it, let's
So
try.
you didn't care, basically. You would try
Yeah.
whatever, and this is what it is. Whoop me, not. Oh well,
Yeah,
and
like,
I'ma still do it
I'ma
again.
still do it. Like I take that whooping. I take that L. Like,
Sam, you was bad as hell. We're gonna go with that. You was bad.
and I acknowledge it. I
Okay.
don't deny it. Like now that I'm an adult,
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
I did some stuff.
Jesus. what the hell was you thinking?
Yeah.
And then that was something like now that I'm an adult, I have impulse control issues.
Okay.
And it was developed even as a young child. Like I would just do things off of I want to do it.
Okay.
And I never understood why. You know what I mean? Mental health is not something that we talk about.
Correct.
It's not something that and
Yeah.
a lot of the times it's not something that African American parents want to acknowledge.
Yep. True.
A lot of the times it's just and even for me, now I can't say a lot of times for me, it was blamed on she's just bad. That's it. She's just not a good child.
Yeah.
Like you didn't get lucky with this one. That's how it kind of felt.
Oh
you know what I
wow.
mean?
Yeah.
And I mean that's just, you go off of what you're taught and how you're taught to love and how you're taught to develop. You know what I mean? If that's how your parent treated you, you just pass it on. And as I got older, I understood that. But in the moment, that's how it felt. It's like you just didn't get lucky with this one. And that's how people treated my mom. Like, sorry, you got a shitty one. Like,
yeah.
Like it was things like I remember one time my mom had saved up all this money to take us to a water park.
Okay.
And she had planned it with my aunt and all this other stuff. And I don't know what happened, but they ditched us. They went to the water park, and then later on it was like, oh well, we didn't want to deal with Sam.
Wow.
Yeah, like it was.
So you
that's
guys
how it
were kind of
felt.
like excluded from things
Yeah.
because of you, basically.
Yeah, because of me.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
So Sam, like, what else did you do? What would cause it to be like, we not calling Sam, Mama for it?
It's funny.
Cause
I tell this story all the time because
okay,
when we talk about it now as a kid, I joke about it. I'm like, no, I was a liberator. I went against the grain. Y'all did whatever they told y'all to do.
I'm not gonna do that.
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
It don't work for Sam. Sam ain't doing it.
Okay.
And it came to a point to where my mom really had to start, like, I wouldn't say negotiating, but it was more of an understanding. But that came with time. Like, as I got older and things like that, it became more of an understanding of I can try to force her, but at the end of the day, she's still gonna do whatever she want to do. And I think my mom, out of everybody in my family, understood that. Like, she just understood as I got older how I worked, how I ticked, and once she did, I think it became a lot smoother, like our relationship. And it of course we had bumps and stuff like that, but it became once we started to understand, and also me understanding the dynamic between her and her mom. You know what I mean? Like her and my grandma don't have the best relationship, and it's hereditary. My grandma and my great grandma don't have the best relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's almost like a generational thing. And no, I guess for me, I want to change that.
Okay.
So I guess that's why acknowledging it and talking about it is like, I guess, the first step. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely.
Like,
Owning up to it and
Exactly.
just, like you said, speaking on it too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we tend to hold things
Definitely.
and it builds.
Definitely.
And at any given moment, it can spill.
Or
and
you could be gone.
Absolutely.
I think that I'm starting to realize I in these last few years I've started to lose like my uncles and my aunt. I didn't go through that when I was younger. We didn't have a lot of death in my immediate family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had like a cousin that was my mom. He was raised with my mom that passed, but nobody really in our family. And then like recently I lost my uncle. And then right before that I lost my aunt. So I think just realizing that
life is too short.
it's way too short.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of questions that I left that I would have loved to ask my uncle. It's a lot of things I would have loved to ask my aunt. Like, she was the first person on my mom's side to really venture out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm from a little bitty town. Moving to Houston was
Okay.
the scene. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's the city.
Yeah. So you're from Texas.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
originally from Texas.
Okay.
And so my aunt moved from our little bitty city to Houston, and everybody thought she was crazy. You know what I mean? But she survived, and it was a lot of things like me. My brother moved, but he moved because he had to. You know
Gotcha.
what I mean? He was in the military, so it was no choice. I'm really the first person that chose to move out of state by choice. You know what I mean? I don't want to be here. I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of questions that I would have asked her of how she did it. Like why, what was the purpose? Why did she feel like? Because I feel like I would never go back to Texas.
Okay.
I love Texas. I might go back like if family issues or things happen.
Visit. Do you go visit?
Yeah, I go visit a lot more now because of my boyfriend. But beforehand, I did not. But I'm getting better.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing. That's another step.
Definitely
That's another
getting better.
step. So just dealing with like, okay, you say growing up, it was basically, I'm gonna say rebellious again.
You can say rebellious.
Yeah, we'll say that. Just What else may have like triggered certain things? Because you say you were always with your mom. Was your dad involved? What did you go through?
Not very often.
Okay.
Very young, my dad was in and out of jail.
Okay.
And then very young, he got a stint in jail.
Okay.
I don't remember how long because I was super young, but I remember on holidays, like my grandma would come and pick me up and take me to the prison to go visit him for like Easter and Christmas and things like that. So I would always see him. But for most of my younger childhood, he wasn't really there. And then once he got out, it was a big gap. Yeah. You know what I mean? From trying to parent somebody behind
you not being
wall,
there. Yeah.
And then you come home and you want to be the parent. So it was, you know what I mean? So it was difficult. And then once he realized he couldn't control me, he kind of gave up too. And it was like, all right, well, your mama's problem.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know what I mean? So, and it was also choices that was made, things that happened. Like, so I was molested really young. I wouldn't say really young, so I would say probably like 11.
Okay.
It started when I was 11, and it was a family member. It was somebody that was really close, and it just, I think, it really triggered the lack of trust
with anybody.
With anybody.
Okay.
I don't trust. I mean, I now I'm learning how to open up to certain people. And I'm learning how to do that, but I don't trust nobody. Anybody could cross you, and that's how I feel because of that. You know what I mean? Being molested was really, I would say, like a mind-altering thing. It really triggered something in me that even now I deal with it like flashbacks or nightmares or you know what I mean? I can't eat certain things. I can't do certain things because it will trigger it. Like, I remember when I was really young, I love ice cream. I've always loved ice cream, and I went through a period of time because of that. I couldn't even eat ice cream because I would see it, and it was just like, it was really hard, and I couldn't talk about this with anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? And not that I didn't want to, but I didn't feel safe with anybody. And a lot of the times, like, it's nobody's fault. Now that I'm older, and a lot of the times people say I make excuses, but I don't think I make excuses. I just think I try to rationalize and understand. It's not really anybody's fault sometimes. Sometimes the ball is just dropped, you know what I mean, from lack of knowledge, from lack of awareness, and from fear. It took me a long time to say something, you know what I mean?
How old were you?
I was 11 turning 12. And I just remember the things that they would say, like, that now it's like I can look back and say it triggered the not trust. Like, they would say things like, oh, such and such told me you do it for them, or such and such told me that you like this, or, you know what I mean? And so at 11, you don't know who to trust. You don't, especially if you've not built that bond with anybody.
Right.
Nobody really built that with me. No, I can't. As much as, again, I don't want to throw my mom under the bus.
Yeah.
She tried, but I didn't have that bond with my mom. I didn't, as much, and I always felt like I was always trying to do that or trying to build it, and then I would do something and it would fuck it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it just never developed. I don't feel like, I think the only person that I genuinely felt like I ever really had a bond with was my sister. Like, my sister is my anchor. And I think she was actually the person who gave me strength, like to
say something.
And I remember it like vividly. I think it was Easter.
There you go.
It was, and this person would come and get me often. And it wasn't really, my mom, you're a child. You don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
You do what an adult tells you. It doesn't matter who the adult is. You do what they tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my mom just being like, having a conversation with her and me saying that, like, I don't want to go. This is not something I want to do. I don't want to.
Had it already transpired before?
Yeah, it had been probably happening for about a year. Not consistently, not every single day, but enough.
Okay.
Enough to where it was emotionally draining me. I really went to a very dark place. Like, I didn't play, I didn't go outside, I didn't trust nobody. Like, I didn't trust nobody.
Yeah.
And so it was Easter and I was supposed to go and I didn't want to. And I remember my mom telling me, like, all right, if you don't want to go, I'm not forcing you, whatever.
Yeah.
It's your choice. You don't have to go. And my sister being there and hearing it. And so in my mind, all right, my mama told me I don't got to do it. So but this person had a lot of control, like in the aspect of people. If this person said something, they did it. You know what I mean? So the fear factor was really high for me at this point. And so I remember my sister being like, I'm gonna go to my grandma's house. And at that time, it was, my grandma, and then I have a cousin that lived across the street that my sister would hang out with a lot. Mm-hmm. And so we were going to go over there. And in my 11-year-old, 12-year-old mind, it's like, I'll be safe over there. I can hide out over there.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case. That person found me there, of course. It's my grandma's house. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
If you're not at home, well, she gonna be.
Yeah. 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 Where you going? Yeah.
And then I just remember this person showing up and us being outside. I'm with my sister and I'm playing, and I just, it's almost like it's a movie. It's like the car turns the corner and you see it, and I see the car coming, and it's just like, fuck. Like,
you found me.
Yeah. Even at that age, and I think my sister recognized it in that moment, that something was wrong, because like I just remember my body being really stiff and
your whole
like,
demeanor changed.
Everything about me, and my sister was just like, it's okay, you don't have to go. If you don't want to go, Mom already said you don't have to go. Like, it's fine, you don't have to go.
Yeah.
And I remember this person just like getting closer and closer, and they stopped right in front of us, and they're like, all right, let's go. And my sister was like, yeah, my mom said she don't have to go. She don't have to go. And that person was just pretty like, yeah, I'm not listening to you. you going to. So yeah, and it was just like, I had no choice. I didn't, and in that moment, it was fight or flight, and I took off. Like,
so they treated you as if you basically belonged to them or something, like a parent or something like that. Yeah, that's how you felt. Yeah,
that's how. And it was just like I didn't have ownership over my own body from nobody, including my mom. And it's but that's from her perspective, that was more of a protection type thing. You know what I mean? This was more of a possession type thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so in that moment, I knew, I don't know how, but I knew if I didn't run, I don't know what would happen, but I knew I had to run.
Okay.
And I took off, and I think this is where I stopped trusting men.
Okay.
And as now that I'm older, I have this click, and because of course this person was a male, but I think at this moment is where I stopped trusting men, is because I'm at my grandmother's house.
Okay.
And my uncle is there on my mom's side.
Mm-hmm.
And I come inside, and I pretty much am like, I don't want to go with this person. My mama said I don't have to go. And I remember vividly my uncle being like, not my problem.
Wow.
Not my problem.
Wow.
You have been such a horrible person. Like, you are not a good kid.
I'm not protecting you, basically.
Pretty much. You on your own.
Wow.
This person comes in, yokes me up, take me in the back room, chokes me out. Like, if you say anything, I'll kill you. Like, and I'm in the house with my uncle.
While this is going on.
And that's, I think, at that moment, it was like, I can't trust nobody. I can't trust nobody. So, by this time, I don't know this at the time, but my sister, I just took off running. Like, I left them outside. So my sister is panicking. She's freaking out. Like, what is going on? Why are you running like you're about to die? Like, what is wrong with you? So he takes me to the back, yokes me up, pulls me outside, and he's dragging me now, like dragging me to the car. And I just remember my sister running out of the house, out of my cousin's house, just running, screaming my name, throws me in the car. And we go, of course, because I don't have any clothes, I don't have anything with me, we have to go back to my house. Like, I have to get my stuff. Mm-hmm. And we get back to the house. And, of course, they give you the threat speech before you get out the car if you say something, whatever. But by this time, you done already killed me in my eyes.
Right.
When you choke me out and I can't breathe at 12, you know what I mean? I don't, what else
What can you do but to kill me? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this might be my last chance.
Yeah.
To say anything. So, of course, as soon as that door was unlocked, I think they knew, they knew straight away, like, I just fucked up. Like,
yeah.
Because as soon as that door was unlocked, I shot out of the car.
Okay.
And my mom was in the house, of course, with her boyfriend. And I just remember running in the house and just blurting it out.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I just remember, like, I remember the pause in everybody of, like, realization, or not even realization, of just more so acknowledgement. And I just remembered the pause. Even to this day, I remember the pause, like, of my mama, because I would lie to get out of trouble. I would lie to not be, and I think, again, it instilled the not trust of not. She didn't jump to my defense autumn. She had to assess whether she could believe me or
because
not.
of who you were at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of who I was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just that moment solidified it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can't trust her either.
Yeah. Wow.
And even though that wasn't necessarily the truth, and after I got older, we had a conversation. She was just like, the pause wasn't about you. The pause was, if I act the way I want to act, I'm gonna go to jail.
And in that moment with you felt like, well, that's what the fuck you should have done. I'm crying out now. Yeah. Like, something has happened to me, and all y'all doing is pausing.
Mm-hmm. That's how it felt.
Yeah.
That's how it felt.
Yeah.
And so that's crazy, because that's exactly how it felt. And it's like, and it was just almost like a,
what do we do now?
Yeah.
Like, so everybody just gonna sit around and not do nothing.
Nothing. And so, like, the person, of course, they denied it. Deny. Oh, you're crazy, whatever, the whole spiel.
Yeah.
And it just, I think a little part of me died, like, that day. My childhood, the idea of family, the idea of protection, I think it kind of died, And now looking back, I think, like, what if? Now I do. Mm-hmm. Then it was just survival. Now I think a light at 12 came on that I just have to survive. And I think I did a lot of things off of survival that hurt people around me. But at that point, I didn't care.
Mm-hmm. Because you were hurt.
Yeah.
And you felt like they hurted you.
Yeah. I felt very much abandoned.
What did you do after that? When it was like a pause, no one's listening, only person that...
It wasn't that nobody would, like I said, it wasn't that in my child mindset, the pause was 5 hours. But it was a matter of seconds, before my mom, like, exploded, get the fuck out of my house, woo, woo, woo.
To you or to the person?
To the person.
Okay.
And then, of course, my stepdad, he was more of a confrontational person, so he went straight to, we finna go. Like,
yeah.
And so this person knew that, and they just ended up leaving. You know what I mean? And my mom had the conversation with me. We could go this route. We can call the police. We can we can do that if that's what you want to do. Mm-hmm. But everybody will know. Everybody will know because I'm from such a small town. Everybody will know. And I could not at 12 make the decision to face that.
So did you have like a little resentment towards your mom? Like, why did she not make that choice? Like, do that for you, seeing that?
No.
Okay.
Not for that choice, because she gave me the choice.
Okay.
I always respected my mom for that.
Okay.
Versus feeling a personal vendetta.
Gotcha.
Or needing to feel a personal vendetta. She really gave me the opportunity to make the choice.
Okay.
And I've always respected her, because had she forced me to do it, I think I would have resented her.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because nobody knows, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a lot of people that can say they know me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like,
Gotcha.
know me.
Yeah.
My mama know me.
Yeah, you're her child.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a given fact. Yeah.
So no, I never resented her for that. Now,
okay.
Did I resent her for other things? Yes.
After the fact?
Yeah. I just didn't feel like she protected me.
Okay.
I felt like at the time when it was going on, the relationship with that person was more important than me.
Gotcha.
And now I have to take some ownership, because I was a badass child, bro. And I don't think it was necessarily the relationship was more important, but she needed a break.
So let me just send you wherever you need to go, just to give me a minute. Seeing that even though I can't control you, but I can control you because I'm your mama.
Exactly.
I'm always nurture. Yeah, I'm a nurture and try to find a common ground with you to be there as your parent, because don't nobody else fuck with you.
Pretty much.
And nobody else better not fuck with you.
I think that also fucked with me too, because my mom used to tell me all the time, all you got is me. And I could feel it. Like, I would walk into a room. Like, even now as an adult, like, I'm 35 years old, and at 35 is the first time my cousins texted me and told me happy birthday.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't get it on Facebook or Instagram or something like that. Like
they're no longer scared of you. They see the new Sam, obviously.
And that's how it feels.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It does feel like that. And it kind of feels like, and not to say that they weren't, but I just don't feel like I was ever given a choice, or I wasn't given that option. And I used to, when you're trying to go through things, you make jokes about it. And I used to say this all the time. Like, my sister is very close to, some of my cousins. You know. What I
Okay.
mean? And so I remember we were supposed to go out. That we were supposed to do something, and my sister was driving. She was like, you know, call cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, cousin not gonna answer for me. And my sister was like, don't say that. Why would you say that? And me in my mind, it was almost like challenge. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you, bitch. Like,
Yeah.
I'm finna show you.
Yeah.
It's different.
They don't fuck with me.
I'm finna show you.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, and so I picked up the phone and I called. It didn't get no answer. And I was like, give me your phone. And I picked up the phone and I called from her phone and they answered.
Wow.
And I just remember my sister going, they're just looking at me like that, and then trying to
fix it. Trying to fix it and put a Band-Aid over it.
And that's my sister.
Yeah.
She's always tried to protect me from everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if she could stop me from stubbing my toe, my sister is going to stop me from stubbing my toe.
Big sisters do that.
That's my sister.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean?
How was your brother?
I really don't have a relationship with my brother.
Okay.
Stemming from the lack of trust in men.
I got you.
I would say from 12 up until 25, 26 maybe, I really was never alone with a man by choice.
Gotcha.
From that, if I could make the choice, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And that includes my brother.
Wow.
And now you really gonna make me cry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I regret it now. I do regret not having that with him. He has children, and I don't, you know what I mean? And I became such an introvert. I became such a recluse. I closed off to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? So now I regret it. You know what I mean? That I kind of shut a door that he didn't even know was there.
So he didn't know what happened, and
I mean, not at first, but again, he was raised differently. So sometimes he was there, sometimes he was there.
Gotcha.
He wasn't, you know, he would be with his dad, and I didn't feel like I could trust him.
And on top of that, he was a man. Got you.
And so it wasn't necessarily I asked my mom not to say anything, and I think it just kind of slipped out, you know. Once he found out, he was really upset and really hurt that nobody told him. But in my mind, it was just like, you're one of them.
Yeah. You a guy. Yeah.
That's how it felt.
Yeah.
You know
At the
what I mean?
time.
At the time. That's
Yeah.
how it felt. And so, yeah, no, we really don't have that relationship. We don't. I mean, I know he loves me. I know he wishes no harm for me, but he probably couldn't tell me my favorite color. He couldn't. I don't even think I think we have like maybe one picture or two pictures together. Like, we just don't have that relationship. My sister, on the other hand, we were really close. She pushed me to be more. Like,
Okay.
She
So you
definitely
became
pushed me
like
more.
the black sheep of the family, and like with you not dealing with men, did it cause you to linger? Did it cause you to what did it cause you to do not liking men, if you don't mind me asking?
Personally, I chose to never deal with men ever. So that just meant if I had control over not being with a man, I was going to do everything in my power. So I ended up becoming a lesbian. Like,
Okay.
That seemed like at the time, now that I'm an adult, it's just like I could see where it was a protection mechanism.
Gotcha.
Just to protect myself from ever, quote unquote, thinking that I would ever be hurt again.
Okay.
To never put myself in that situation to ever be hurt again. And really what it was my sister came out first. And
Okay.
I remember being around her, hanging around, and she didn't have to deal with men. To the most I'm not interested. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
It was she was surrounded by girls all the time. It was fun. It was comfortable, and it was like I could do. I could do that, and that's what I did.
How long were you a lesbian?
For a while. I would say my first experience, I would say, would probably be like just experimenting 13, 14.
Wow.
Just, and again, I was already hypersexualized because I had already experienced this. So now I have legitimate questions, and I still have nobody to discuss those questions with,
Yeah.
you know, of course. So you just, as a child, you do things that you know you're not supposed to be doing, but you do them.
Yeah.
And so, and that was the first time that I was just kind of like, I don't have to deal, I'll never have to really deal with boys or guys, or, you know what I mean? So then once I got older, I put on this armor, you know? Nobody could really get close to me. I didn't have friends, like, and the friends that I did have were arm's length, you know what I mean? They know what I let them know.
Gotcha.
That was it.
You build up a wall.
You know what I mean? So I of course, you make friends that are beneficial. You know what I mean? Like my childhood best friend, Kanisha, and I love her to death, was my escape.
Okay.
You know, she lived with her dad, and so anytime I needed to get away, I could come to her house.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what I was going through. You know what I mean? I could always
go to her.
I could always.
Yeah.
So that made it easy to escape. And so I wouldn't say she wasn't my friend, but I think when we got older, we became more friends. We built a friendship. But at that time, it was out of necessity, I think,
Gotcha.
for me to escape from everything.
The cares of the world and just having to deal with life and its issues that come with it.
And I don't have to. I can come to your house and look at you deal with your life and your issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Not worry about mine.
They can kind of disappear, you know? So that made it easy.
So how was it being with the woman as opposed to the different things you went through with the man? Like, what was your...
I think it was really hard. It's really hard to gauge that because the experience that I had with the male, I was so immature and I didn't understand it. So going into it with a woman, it wasn't really a comparison, if that made sense.
Yeah.
It was just more so, I never had to look at a penis. Like,
yeah.
like,
yeah, seriously,
that was really where my mindset was.
Yeah.
I never have to look at a penis.
Yeah.
Again. Like,
I don't have to be bothered with that.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly
Because
okay
if you
with
only knew what I went through,
that.
gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like, you can have it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, I can't really mentally compare it, but it was a scapegoat. Like, it was I don't want to say a trend because I do feel like certain people have a preference. I feel like they are born that way. I feel like that's just who they are. I don't feel like that was what was for me.
Yeah.
I was just doing it to mask emotions and trauma.
You're hurting different stuff you went through. I got you. And that happens. That happens with that in the process of trying to just deal with it.
Definitely.
Because people handle things and traumas and situations totally different.
Definitely.
So even with that, so you did that for a while.
I didn't tell you out. So I would say realistically 17, 18 to about 25.
So
26.
younger teenage years just experimenting.
Yeah.
And then as you got older, you started to like it a little bit. And then that's when like a relationship with a female transpired and you went from there.
Yeah.
So how was that, seeing that? What's the difference? How was that?
I just was never in love.
Okay.
I
you didn't have to worry about it.
No, I just never was in love. Like, now looking back, I dealt with a lot of females. Like, I dealt with them, but
You weren't stuck.
if you decided to leave, it's okay. Like, you could leave.
Yeah.
And I think that was also a trauma mechanism too, because if I don't get attached, I have nothing to lose. So I mean, I might be hurt and get all mad and upset, and
that person just wouldn't know it. You would just let them go on about their business.
No, I mean, no, like I would show it to them.
Okay.
I would be mad, but in my mind, it's like, if you leave, I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like,
I've been through worse. If only you knew. Yeah.
And I think the turning point was I moved here. I moved to Georgia.
Okay.
I was in a relationship with somebody. I moved to Georgia.
With the female?
With
Okay.
a female.
Okay.
And we had been together for a few years.
Okay.
And so, you know, one of my cousins talked me into coming here and moving down here with this girl. So I moved. And I found out she was a hoe. She was doing nothing but cheating on me the whole time. And it was like, okay, well, whatever. But it sent me into a full-on rage.
Oh. Sam, what did you do?
I beat this girl up for no reason. And not for no reason. For me at the time, it was valid reason.
Yeah.
At the time.
You cheated on me.
It wasn't even really the cheating because so I moved here. We sold all our stuff in our apartment. So now I'm
in Texas.
In Texas.
Okay.
And we drove here to Georgia. Now we here. It's me, her, my cousin, his boyfriend. And of course, only men I felt comfortable around was gay men. You don't want me. You don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't have to worry about you doing that to me.
You ain't coming over here.
Okay.
So we're in this house. I find this information out. I don't have a job. Okay. The apartment is in her name. And now I'm trapped in this apartment.
There go a trigger.
With y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't snap at first. That I've never been one to get backed into a corner and just sit. If I'm backed into a corner, I'm coming out swinging.
Yeah.
And that's not even just physically, just like I know I need to step everything. I got 3 jobs. Like I got my own car. So my cousin used to do, some stuff.
Okay.
And so he got an apartment in the same apartments for him and his boyfriend, but they ended up breaking up.
Okay.
So me, being me, I started whispering in his ear, "You like her. Y'all can be roommates.
Yeah.
Let me get that apartment."
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. Let me go back. So when I first moved to Georgia, driving into the apartment complex, we were looking for something in particular.
Okay.
And so this person was walking through the apartments with it.
Okay.
And it was really just like, "Hey, where'd you get that from?" And I met my best friend, Omar.
Okay. And that's a guy.
And that's a guy.
Okay.
He had it, and he was like, "I got you. I'm gonna come to your apartment. I'll help y'all unpack. I'll show y'all around." Because he wasn't from here either. He was from New York.
Okay.
And so that was the first genuine person that I met, like male, that I developed a relationship with.
And what allowed you to do that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I can't say I have no God.
Okay.
I
get it.
It had to be some type of divine intervention. It had to because I tell people this, I feel like I did not become a person until I moved to Georgia.
Gotcha. That's deep.
When I moved away from my family and I was forced to stand on my own 2 feet, to be by myself, to go through highs and lows and not be able to call my mama and her come up the street and save me, or not be able to call my sister and her be able to come and save me or fix the situation. Moving to Georgia was the first time that I had to really struggle.
Okay.
And it deepened a lot of the traumas.
Okay.
But it also opened up a lot of doors to deal with the traumas.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It does.
Having the relationship with Omar, so I meet him. I would say because we hit it off right away.
Okay.
Like we start hanging out as a group. We start all hanging out. Me, my ex, my cousin, and Omar.
Okay.
We would sit around. He taught me how to play spades. Like that was the first thing that we really learned how to do. It's like we would sit around and we would play spades. And he would teach me how to do it.
Okay.
And so we would play that for hours and hours and hours all day. Then he would go home. We would go back to whatever. And then I would say like 2 or 3 months in, I found out everything about my ex, and it broke me. And I just remember Omar I don't know. Like, I just remember him being just like,
He was there when it happened? You
not
said you
when
beat her up, so.
So that was later. So hold on.
Okay.
So we all living in an apartment together. So I just remember Omar really just being there for me. You
Being
know
a
what I mean?
genuine
Like,
friend.
Yeah, being a genuine friend. Like, I remember being really heartbroken. So while we're all living in this apartment, she go get another girlfriend and bring the bitch to the house, everything. Like, and I remember we were all sitting in the house and the bitch come over and we sitting on the couch. And I just remember Omar like tapping me like, let's play the game. And me just, I'm crying. And he's just like, fuck them. Fuck her. Let's play the game. Like, hands me the controller, and he started teaching me how to play Call of Duty, like shooting shit, like, and we would do that for hours.
Okay.
Like, and that was our relationship for a long time. It's just me dealing with fuck them. It's all about me, like fuck them, and him just supporting me.
Okay.
It genuinely no. He didn't want nothing out of it.
Yeah.
It was no sexual
He was a genuine
attraction.
friend.
It was a genuine friendship. And then it developed into, my cousin got the apartment.
Okay.
I talked him into letting me get the apartment. It's like a 1-bedroom with a den in it.
Gotcha.
He lets me get the apartment. Omar and his bitch starts going at it.
Okay.
They
Okay.
doing not bitch. Let me not say it like that.
I get what you saying.
But they start going at it over stupid stuff. And so he like, well, fuck it. Can I come stay with you? All right, fuck it. You can come stay with me. I don't care. But by this time, I had got really close to all of them. I know his brother. His brother was here. And his brother had asked to move in. And I was like, I don't care. Fuck it. His brother gets in trouble. He leaves. He have to go off for a little while. So it's me and Omar.
Okay.
And we in here, we thugging it out. Fucking, he working, I'm working, paying the bills, just trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Then money gets funny, and he stops working. His money starts slowing down. My money starts slowing down. Somebody steals my car, so I lose my car. So then it just becomes like a snowball. So then his cousin comes. And once his cousin come, like, we all just thugging it out. So this apartment is up. Like, we got to go. So with the last little bit of money I have, I go and find us another apartment. We all move in together, me, him, his cousin, and my ex.
The girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because shit then hit the fan with them two, with my cousin and the girl, with my ex-girlfriend. And I just feel bad because we came here together.
Okay.
If I don't help you, you're going to be homeless. So fuck it. We going to all thug it out in this bitch together. And so we in there for a couple of months, and everything all right. She in and out. She be with her bitch. Whatever, that's your business. But she comes back and she's in her room, and I hear her on the phone telling personal business, telling about this experience with this person. Like, oh yeah, she's been through this too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was such and such. It was this person. And
oh wow, she told who? Wow.
Yeah. So and I genuinely remember just flying into a blind rage. Like, I start throwing her shit everywhere. Like, I'm dragging her, I'm hitting her, I'm pushing her out. Like, bitch, you gotta go.
Yeah, that's built up too.
I lose it. And I think now, looking back, it was a trigger because now I can't trust you either.
Yep.
I shared something with you that I usually don't share with people. And I hadn't even told Omar or my best friend at the time none of this.
Yeah.
So for me to share this with you and then to hear you sharing it with somebody, I went into a blind rage.
Yeah.
I did. And I just was like, and I remember my best friend being like, this is not okay. That was not normal. You need to really reevaluate some things. And Omar just being like, bruh, I'm not anybody to tell you what to do with your life, but
this right here,
this ain't working.
Yeah.
Are you just gonna beat the next one up? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, this is not okay. I'm a man, and I know you're not supposed to be beating this girl up. Like,
right.
And it really was just like
Kind of like an eye opener.
Yeah, it was like, damn, I really did do that. Like, it was not that serious. Like, I could have just been like, all right, bitch, you gotta go. Can't share nothing.
That was built up, though.
Yeah.
That was built up. And then somebody else that invaded your trust.
Exactly.
And somebody else that basically took something that was shared and threw it basically against you.
I felt exposed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was like a nerve that was exposed. Like, you just uncovered something that
You opened the wound back up.
That I've been hiding for so long.
Yeah.
And you just kind of ripped it open.
Yeah. And I already hate me and already to a sense. And then
you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I go with this side and here you go.
Yeah, you doing the same thing. You ain't no different. That's really where it went to.
So did that take you to like, just fuck everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
So I did a whole 5 years of, I was just like single. I'm just fuck with me. Like, I'm gonna focus on me. I really didn't date like that. Like, if I did, we was just sleeping together and moving on. Like, I became very heartless. When it came with dealing with people. And then I would say for a few months. I ain't gonna say forever. I would say for a few months. And then it became like, yeah, I just don't want to deal with nobody. I'm good, like, by myself. I need to figure out what the fuck is going on with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because even with dealing with, I was still sleeping with girls, but it wasn't doing nothing for me.
Okay.
Because after having that, it was almost like a switch of having that conversation with him and him being like, bro, I'm not telling you, but like, a woman can't protect you. A woman. Like, and it was just like having a conversation.
How you beat her ass, bro? This ain't not that. Yeah.
You're not gonna get that from what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You're not gonna you're looking for all the attributes of a man and a woman, and you're not gonna get that.
Yeah.
And it was almost just like, because again, I had no comparison. I had no comparison to be like, a man is supposed to be like this. I didn't have my father in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And the closest thing I had to a male role model was my uncle, but he was in and out. You know what I mean? Like, but so I had no comparison.
Okay.
So having somebody have that eye opener, you know what I mean? Like, outside looking in, and it was just like, well, shit, maybe you see something I don't see.
Yeah, let me try something different then. I didn't
think about that. I didn't never thought about that.
Yeah.
Thanks for ruining everything for me. Greatly appreciate you, bud.
Yeah.
And then he moved back to New York.
So he was just there basically probably to be that eye opener. As you said, God sent to kind of redirect you a little bit to keep you from probably destroying some other shit.
Probably doing some stupid shit that I probably would have regretted. Like, had I not dealt with the trauma of it. And that's not to say like I went to counseling. A lot of it was just soul searching. A lot of it was just me. What am I afraid of? Dealing with figuring out what my triggers were. I can't say dealing with, but really figuring out what my triggers were, and what made me feel uncomfortable about being around a man or just being in a man's presence. And it really boiled down to fear
of what may happen to you being alone with a man because somebody got you.
Because your family is supposed to protect you.
Right.
That's, you know what I mean? That's your first bond. That's your first. So if your family doesn't protect you, who the fuck is these niggas? You know what I mean? This is a rando.
Yeah, seriously.
Why would he care about me?
Yeah.
It's a random person.
Yeah.
And so not having a comparison, I had comparisons to the extent of like, I seen my uncle take care of his daughter and his kids, and it's like, shit, I wish I had that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and he tried to compensate. He tried to, give me gifts here and there, and but it just made me feel even more isolated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because why you can't make your brother do that? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And then even, I think my uncle was the only person who believed me, and unashamed. Would say it to anybody. Yeah, did not care. I remember him. You okay? I remember him coming to the house and having a conversation and him sitting there and just be like, "I believe you." without a doubt, I believe you. Like, no, it was no hesitation. It was no, and I think he was the only one that could still show his face to me because he did believe me. It was no shame there for him.
Did you feel a sense of protection with him because someone finally believed you?
He wasn't consistent.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't he wasn't around enough to make me feel comfortable.
Okay.
If that makes
it does. It does.
He was living, even though he was my uncle, he was still and now I look, it wasn't his responsibility.
Yeah.
I wasn't his responsibility.
Right.
Even what he did, I appreciate. I appreciate him validating my feelings at that time, at that age. I appreciated it.
Yeah.
And I never resented him for anything.
Yeah.
I respect my mom because she always gave me both sides. I respect. One thing about that Libra, she weighs it out.
Yeah, that's that balance. Yeah, they are that.
She would tell me that all the time. It's got to be in balance for me. If it's not in balance, it don't sit right with me.
Yeah.
So sometimes she would tell me stuff that she knew she shouldn't tell me, but it would be like, well, fuck it. I gotta just tell you the truth. Like,
yeah.
This is what it is.
Yeah.
Or like I remember when it was right after it all came out, it all came to a head. My mom pretty much was pulling everybody's ticket. Like, did you know?
Yeah.
Did it happen at your house?
Yeah.
What? And it was one house in particular that it happened at. And I remember my mom calling this person and that person being like, I hope you don't take this person away from me. And not talking about me, talking about
the person,
my family member.
Wow.
That was their concerns. Don't take this person away from me. It wasn't a,
are you okay?
Yeah, like does she need anything? It was that wasn't there. And then it was like, well, don't tell anybody. Let's keep it like that's why I said it's interesting because like a lot of family members don't know. You know what I mean? And I think it was out of selfishness. Now that I'm an adult, I definitely resent that person.
Yeah, definitely. As you should.
Yeah.
Cause how dare you?
Yeah.
But it's sad and it's crazy, but it's real. It's people out there that's just like that, and it's kind of like, you ever heard of the saying like, you have to forgive people even when they don't say I'm sorry. So moving past that, like I like where you are now and being able to talk about it and moving forward. So we'll just cut that part. Yeah. We're going to fast forward with you're 35 out of everything that transpired with that. Are you back with men now? Are you in a relationship? Can you be in the same room presence? Do you feel different? Where is Sam now?
I feel different. I definitely feel different. I am with a man now.
Okay.
I've been with somebody for about 2 years now.
Okay.
Going strong.
Okay.
Love him to death. That's my. So I mean, I wouldn't say I necessarily feel different about all men.
Okay.
I definitely, it is a long handle spoon situation.
Process.
It is a process. I think I'm comfortable with my man.
Okay.
If that makes
That's
sense.
a start.
That's you know what I mean? And he goes out of his way to make me comfortable. He goes out to understand who I am. You know what I mean? But now I've done a lot of growth, a lot of soul searching. I've done a lot of crying. I've done a lot of making peace.
You know who Sam is now.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
And it doesn't waver now.
That's good.
And that also came from forgiveness.
Okay.
That being able to have a relationship with that person who hurt me, now it's not easy, but it's something that we are working on. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It is something that, because a lot of the times it's like, fuck that person forever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's what, in the beginning, that's what it starts off as. It's like, and then something just randomly happens. Not something. Like, so I went a long time with just putting it in the back of my mind, not dealing with it for a long time. I would say from from when it happened, when it came out, up until I moved away. I used to say this person was dead.
Yeah.
Like,
I can only imagine.
I remember it was one time we was in the grocery store, and I was with my sister, and we was walking, and we passed by this person, and my sister was like, "Don't you know that?" Like that. It's like, nah, that's a ghost.
Yeah.
Keep walking. And I just remember the look on her face, like,
okay,
fuck, all right. That's what
we'll
it
keep
is.
walking.
And,
yeah.
and she never, when it came down to it, she never challenged it. It was cheating. I think my sister understood the boundary, and she just left it at that. Like, that's your burden to bear. I'm not gonna.
I'm just gonna support whatever you choose to do. Well, Sam, I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you with dealing with that and moving forward in your life, and potentially and hopefully, prayerfully, as you continue to grow and heal with this. I know today this helps somebody that may be dealing with something that's not easy.
It's not.
And just with life, yeah.
Possible.
And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And sometimes you don't forgive the person for what they've done. You forgive them for yourself. So you can move forward. So I do appreciate you for coming on. And I'm proud of your growth.
Thank you.
And I'll continue to keep you uplifted in your spiritual journey and just being who you are and keeping your light on. At one point in time, it was off. So
definitely was.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for acknowledging me.
No problem. No problem. We look to see you back, see where you're going, moving forward in life. Guys, thank you guys for tuning in to Queen's Opinion Podcast. You know where to follow me on all platforms. If you are looking to do collabs, want to come on, make sure that you email queensopinionpodcast@gmail.com. And until then, peace.